Hey everyone, and welcome to this video series on integrating a Dialogflow AI assistant into a Magento 2 store. What to expect in this series? Are you looking to enhance customer engagement and streamline support in your Magento store? In this hands-on series, I will guide you through integrating Google Cloud's Dialogflow AI assistant into Magento 2, step by step. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. I'm Adam, a Magento Adobe Commerce developer with over 10 years of experience. I'm also a best-selling Udemy instructor. My goal is to help you grow in your career by sharing modern programming techniques and the latest innovations in the AI and e-commerce. Here is some bonus for the subscribers. From time to time, I'm also offering amazing deals on my Udemy courses and even completely free coding tutorials. So if you don't want to miss out on these great opportunities, it's definitely worth subscribing to my channel and hitting the notifications bell. Thank you so much. In the first episode, we will introduce the Dialogflow. So we will explore its features, set up Dialogflow Messenger and configure preset data stores. And in the upcoming episode, we will integrate this within the Magento 2 using extensions. So we will connect Dialogflow to Magento. So stay tuned and let's get started. So now I would like to present you the setup Google Cloud with the Dialogflow API. At the end of this series, I would like to also present you this Dialogflow AI integration within our Magento shop. So here at the first point, you should create the Google Cloud account with the Dialogflow activation, and for this you can go to the Google Cloud platform and also create the project Google Cloud in the Google Cloud console, and you should enable the Dialogflow API within this project. And if you added this to one, so the project with the Dialogflow API, you should also check your service account within the Google Cloud console. For this, you can open the Google Cloud console and select your Google Cloud project, and within the admin service account, you will see your account with the correct permissions. So here you can add under the grant this service, you can select different access or permissions to this user. So you can also add editor for the full access, and in this case this user is able to manage everything related to the Dialogflow settings and configurations or some other API related settings. In this case the rule can be defined under this point, and also for the webhook you can also generate JSON key under the service account keys tab, and you can also add the new key, and later you can also download this key which you will use for the authentication with the different API request. So this is the main point for the service account settings with the JSON key, and also the different settings for the permissions for the admin user. And this was the first point. And if you completed this point, you can jump to the second point where we will create a new agent under the Dialogflow console. So if you already activated the Dialogflow API, within this Dialogflow console, you can create a new agent and configure this. And by the configuration, you have the possibility to configure the intents, means user queries and entities, and this is the data extractions and also the responses. And here I would like to mention to you what is the difference between intents like user queries, entities like data extraction and responses, and how these points are connecting to each other, and how the customer is also reacting with the AI. So the first point, this is the intents, the user queries. And what does it mean? And intents represent a user goal or request. It tells the Dialogflow what the users want based on their input. So actually this is what the user wants based on this input. So this is the main point. And here is some example. So imagine a chatbot for an online store, and the intent in this case, the check order status, and the user queries like the trainings phrases. Where is my order? Can you check my order status? Track my package. So this will be the main point, the main trainings phrases for this intent for the check order status. Or how it works. When the user says something similar to these phrases, the Dialogflow matches it to the check order status intent. So if the user says something similar to these phrases, what you already typed by this configuration, then the Dialogflow try to match to the check order status intent, what you previously created. And how to configure an intent? You should go to the Dialogflow console and select your agent, what you previously created. And here click to the intents and create the intent. And after that you can add the trainings phrases, what I already listed here to you. And you can also set responses, what the bot or the AI assistant should reply. And optionally, and I would like to also suggest this to you, you can enable the webhook fulfillment for dynamic responses. And in this case, the AI is also trying to learn from the different or based on the different user interactions, and this will be better and better time to time, and you will get also a dynamically response from the AI. So the AI will not provide every time some static response, and this will be time to time more dynamic within this Dialogflow conversations. By these first intent points, the main or the key point that this is the recognizing the user queries. For example, where is my order, or what is my order status, or where I can find this store, or what is the store telephone number or email address. So this is actually the process of the recognizing the user queries. And by the second point, and this is the entities like data extractions, means entities allows Dialogflow to extract key information. For example, names, data, product types, and so on from the user input. And in this case, yeah, the Dialogflow extracting the key information from the user input. And here is one example based on this previously step by the check order status. The user says, where is my order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And then the Dialogflow extracts, in this case, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is the order number as an entity. So this is already predefined, and if the user is asking similar to this with the hashtag at the beginning or with the 5 digits, then the AI is already recognizing that it's about the order number, and they will be react. And there are also two types of entity, the system entities, this is the predefined entities, and also the custom entities, this is the user-defined entities. And for example, the system entities can be automatically detects common data types like dates or numbers or emails or locations or geolocations and so on. So there are also already lots of predefined entities in this case, but you can also predefine cases every time. So for example, related to order status or product type and so on. And you can create also custom entities here. And the order status could be, for example, processing, shipped, delivered, and also the product type laptop, phone, TV, and so on. So the user is interacting or asking something related, for example, with the processing order status, then the AI can already recognize and extract this key information from the user input, and based on this information, the AI will be react or response. And you can also configure this entity via Dialogflow console, entities, create entity, where you can define the entity name, in this case the order number. And here is also important to add example values to the AI, for example these 5 digits, and also you can also extend this with the hashtag at the beginning, and in the intent set parameter to extract these values. So here in the previously explained point, you can also extend this these training phrases with these entities, and then you will get also more dynamic response from the AI based on the user interaction or the user input. So you can also extract the intents with these parameters, these custom parameters. So by this second point, this is the main point, the responses and the provider reply. For example, your order has shipped in this case, or this could be also more dynamic response. And by the third point, and this is the bot replies. So this is the preparation for the response, let's say, with the extracting the information. And by the third point, where the bot try to reply to the user, and the response is define how the chatbot replies after identifying an intent. So if the AIs already know it's about the order, and if they figure out which order is related and which information they have based on this user input, then example response for the check order status, the AI try to answer with static response or dynamic response. So this is the two main response type. So the static response could be that your order is being processed. You can track it here, and you can link to your order status pages or some other pages where the customers can check the order status. Or if you already activated this webhook dynamic response, then you will get a more dynamic response from the AI. In this case, your order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has been already shipped and expected to arrive by this date. So you will get the static response or the dynamic response. And here there are also 3 types of responses. For example, the text responses, this is the predefined bot replies, like static response or dynamic response. So this is the 2 types in this case. Or you can get also rich responses, some buttons or cards or images. And here, if you asking for about some products, for example, then the AI can also suggest you some products with the images within this chat window. So this is also possible via Dialogflow. And also the third option, this is the webhook fulfillment. This is the dynamic response from an API if you already activated this. So this is the 3 types of response, and you can configure this response in the Dialogflow, open your intent and scroll to the responses, and you can also add text to reply. And here, you can enable the webhook fulfillment if responses need to be fetched dynamically. So this was the preparation for the response, where the entities created from the user input, and this is the last step, the third step, where the response is created, providing a reply to the customer. And this was the first point, where the AI is recognizing the user queries based on these training phrases and intents. How they work together. So for example, here the user asking, where is my order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Dialogflow matches the intent. So this could be the check order status, because we already predefined this with the training phrases and the intents. And after that, process with the extract the entities. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is an order number, and then the AI is checking this and preparing the response. And after that, the customer will get the response that your order 12345 has been already shipped. So if you already created and configured the Dialogflow agent, then you can also train AI by this third point with the web pages or documents. So this is all the two options, the web page or documents. And for this, you can also go to the Dialogflow console, the knowledge base, and you can add new knowledge base. In this case, you can upload your documents, for example, in format PDF, CSV, or TXT, or document. This can contain information, for example, about your products, stores, or some other important information what you would like to also provide to the customer if they are asking something similar. Or you can also link web pages like your shop URL here, and then this URL will be crawled with this AI and the information will be collected on the regular basis. Then, for example, the AI can collect information about your store, for example, opening hours or some other important information, or products, categories, images. Based on this information, this crawled information, the AI can react with the customer. So this is the two possibility: the documents, training with the documents, or linking the web page directly within this Dialogflow. And here you can train the agent to extract relevant responses. And after that, you have also the possibility to train this individually with this process. So you can every time add or correct or adjust the trained responses by the AI. And you can also enable auto responses to automatically reply based on these documents. And if you have already collected some user inputs or interactions, if you already activated your AI assistant, for example, on your web application or on your shop, you got already some real user interactions, and based on this information, you can manually improve your responses. You can use this for the training phases to add variations of the user queries, and also you can utilize ML thresholds or these confidence scores for better response accuracy by this AI. So, and if you already trained your AI and uploaded your document or added your link or linked your web pages for the URL crawling, then you can connect this to your application. And here in this case, you have two possibilities. You can connect this with the web integration or for the backend integration. And later we will use the web integration, means we will use this Dialogflow Messenger, this DF Messenger web component. So we will embed this DF Messenger tag within our HTML, and we will also configure with the correct API keys and informations. And if we already configure this and added this script, then we will see this on our shop, on our, for example, on our PDP pages, where the customer can interact with the AI. And here I would like to also adjust that you have also the possibility to add this for the backend integration using this Google Cloud Dialogflow client library, and you can use this in the Node.js or Python or PHP. And here you can also authenticate using the service account JSON key, what I already showed you here by these steps. So in this case, you should use this key. And if you configure this for the backend integration, then you can send and receive messages via Dialogflow API. But yeah, this is for the backend integration. If you already connected your application, then you can also enable the webhook dynamic response. With this, we can handle the incoming request and processing logic, and also send custom responses, what we already created and managed by the previous step. And after that, by this last step, we can optimize and test this AI assistant functionality using the Dialogflow test console. Or if you have some problems or warnings and errors, you can use every time the Google Cloud logs, where you can check the errors. Or you can also use the Chrome or some another browser developer console, where you can see every time the errors or warnings if you have something related to the AI assistant integration. And if you have other errors related to the Google Cloud, then you can check this in the Google Cloud logs. And the Dialogflow test console is also there, where you can check the different incoming information. And if you have already integrated this and deployed this, then you should monitor the user interactions and improve this time to time based on this user interaction. And also the AI can learn based on these user inputs. You will get also the time to time better and better response from the AI. And after that, if you finish this testing process, you are done with the integration and everything's working fine, for example, on your testing environment or preview environment, then you can deploy this to production. And if you deploy this, then naturally you should track the performance about these AI tools with some analytics tools, for example, Neural Lake. So actually, this was the sixth step, what you should know previously before you activating the Dialogflow AI assistant or Dialogflow tools within your web application or shop. Showed you this sixth step from the registration on the Google Cloud, activating the Dialogflow and creating and configuring the Dialogflow agent. And also I presented you the training process with the web page or documents. And after that, the connection to your web application. Then we are enabled the webhook for the dynamic response. And last but not least, we are tested this and optimized the AI assistant. And if everything's worked fine, then we deploy this to production. So in the next video, would like to present you this whole process in the Google Cloud platform, where we will create this account already and where we will activate this Dialogflow API and configure the agent for the default use cases. And we will also connect this Dialogflow Messenger widget within our Magento shop. So stay tuned and see you in the next video.